This verse will show you why God's word cannot fail at any cost. Why, when we share the gospel with others and we include God's word, it will not return empty or void. This verse comes from Isaiah chapter 55, verses 11, which speaks about the power of God's word and the impact his word has when he sovereignly decrees that to other people. We see in this passage that Israel or Judah, I would say, is going through a time where they're in deep exile and they're losing hope. But this is what God tells them. He tells them that they need to abandon their ways. They need to turn away from the ways that they've been going, and they need to trust in Him. He says how His thoughts are higher than theirs. His ways are higher than theirs. And so the call for Judah and even for us today is to trust in his thoughts, not in ours. Trust in his ways, not in our ways, because his ways are higher than our ways and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And this is what he says in verse 11. He says, "So will my word which be which goes forth from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, without accomplishing what pleases me, and without succeeding in the matter for which I sent it." This is so much to unpack here. What God is saying is that his word, whatever he says, it's going to go forth. It is not going to stop. It's going to go wherever he wants it to go, and it's not going to return empty. In other translations, it would say it will not return void. It will not return to a result that God didn't want. God's word is going to accomplish what he wants. I spoke on passages like Psalms 115 verse 3, where it says that God does whatever he pleases. Our God is in the heavens and he does whatever he pleases. This passage tells us something similar, that God is going to accomplish his purpose with his word, and it's not going to return empty or void. Without accomplishing what pleases me? No, pleases God. Without accomplishing what pleases God, and without succeeding in the matter for which I sent it. This is meaning through all the promises and all the blessings that God has said, and any word that God has said, it will not return void, because God has said it. He says whatever he wants to say, and it will not return empty. That's why we can trust in a God who can deliver on his promises, because the Bible tells us that every word he says will not return empty. That is why we as Christians can go and boldly express the good news of Christ, because we know whoever is being impacted there, God is going to plant seeds. Because you may not know this, that the point of either if you're doing apologetics or something like that, is not to win the argument, it is to plant seeds. Because in the end, God is going to grow that seed. I'm not there to transform the heart. That job is to God. God is there to transform the heart. And so whose ever heart he wants to change, he's going to do that. God's word has never failed. So maybe in your life, you felt like God has failed in some way in your life. You didn't get what you wanted. You asked for something. You didn't get it. This verse is a reminder that whatever God has said will come true. It will come to pass. It will not return empty or void. Maybe you're in a conversation with a non-believer and they didn't take it lightly. They didn't take it the way that you wanted them to take it. Again, God's word will not go void. We preach the gospel to as many people as we can, and God takes in as many people as he wants. We don't control how many people we save. God controls how many people, because ultimately it is him who is saving that person. I hope this video blessed you. On that note, take care and God bless.